What's going on out there, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning into your soul mapping astro weather report for the weekend of July 19th and 20th, 2019. I'm Thomas, and the astro weather report is where I synthesize aspects of astrology and the 64 hologenetic archetypes to give you a better idea of some of the energies that will be at play today and this entire weekend, from the genetic all the way up to the cosmic levels.
It is the only consistent truth that there is, is our fault.
Thank you so much for tuning in this weekend. This weekend's definitely going to be an interesting space. We're at the end of Cancer season here, and as much as I love all of you, my Cancer friends out there, I'm sure many of you are ready to get into Leo season. This Cancer season has been a very interesting and emotional one. Definitely much needed, though, in terms of learning how to really nurture our emotional selves, our beliefs about who we are, our identities, and developing these more comfortable spaces within so we can be ready to receive this Leo season coming up. And you know, for many of us, I feel like the deeper that we've gone in into the dark spaces and the depths in this Cancer season, the more beautiful the light's going to be at the end of this tunnel in this upcoming Leo season. And this weekend's going to be some of the last bits of it. You know, Mercury, I'm recording this on Friday, and Mercury's making its way over the 29th degree of Cancer, highlighting some really interesting emotional stuff. And then Monday we'll have the Sun coming back in this area, and Mercury and the Sun crossing over in the Cazimi point. And that's going to be a little bit of kind of like a less bit of burnout of this. It's like seeing this window within into these emotional spaces within ourselves and burning up the last bits of these kind of negative ways of looking at things, and being able to shine the light on the way that we mentally observe our emotional aspects, and, you know, burning up some beliefs about ourselves that aren't really serving us anymore, and really so that we can step forward into these new magical spaces coming in this Leo season. Now, the moon is making its way through Pisces this weekend. Saturday it's going to be conjuncting Black Moon Lilith, and then it's going to be conjuncting Neptune. It's going to be making some quincunxes, but it's going to be sexiling over to Pluto and Saturn this weekend. And so definitely overall, with the end of this Cancer period and then all of this watery energy in Pisces, we can find ourselves going into some deep collective unconscious spaces within psychic realms, within dream realms, and really working through these interesting kind of like psychic navigational battles, and doing a lot of work on these collective unconscious realms where, you know, we are working through these tense places within and working through these, you know, these core wounds that we have about this, you know, with this conjunction with Black Moon Lilith. This is happening on the 63, and this is really about being able to step into a new place where we can look into that inner warrior, but that inner feminine warrior that we have, this unbridled energy of like psychic ability, or tapping into these dream realms and of the collective unconscious, where we can really step into a new place of where we can investigate these deep collective unconscious waters and do so in a much more empowered way. We can rewrite these structures within our psyche and within the entire collective unconscious, and also rewriting a lot of these masks that we have within, as the moon will conjunct the 22.2, and then also make some aspects on the 22.5, which is significant too, because Neptune's been on the 22.2 for a while. With the moon coming into this conjunction with Neptune, this is allowing us to really feel into these emotional kind of like psychic collective unconscious places, these places where we're really sensitive. But as it comes into these places, this space on the 22.5, we're going to get a window into the solutions and how we can really rewrite those. Now, the Sun is going to be on the 56.2 on Saturday, the 56.3 on Sunday, the Earth on the 60.2 on Saturday, and the 60.3 on Sunday. And so, there's a lot of possibilities opening up here to ways that we can, we could either go the direction of kind of getting into a lot of possibilities for distraction when it comes to navigating these kind of realms of intoxication in the subconscious realm and the collective unconscious. We can really see a deep window into these magical spaces, or we can, kind of drift off into where we just get lost into these spaces and not really paying attention to how we feel on a deeper emotional level. But we can still, even in these intoxicated space, we can get a window into very unique creative ways and belief structures that we have, or maybe the collective has. And then on Sunday, I feel like we're going to come into some very unexpected and innovative adventures with navigating these realms, and really coming into new structures that we might not expect, of how we can really rewrite and provide a new structure for these belief systems and for these stories that we have about ourselves, or that we want to step into and that we want to really write. Now, what's really interesting though is I feel like we're all going through this thing with timing right now. There's a lot of aspects to Jupiter on the 5.5 is squaring over to Vesta in Taurus, and we're really seeing potentials as to how, by rewriting these psychic collective unconscious structures within, and rewriting our belief patterns about our value, and coming into these deeper places of truth about who we are, we're starting to see glimpses of how we can completely redo our material reality and really level up in our value and create a better life of ourselves. But we may feel a lot of tension and difficulty about the timing of it all. It's like we're starting to step into this new adventure, but I feel like a lot of us are been through such like icky places internally, and we're like stepping into these new states of value. But it's like we know on a certain level that there's a much bigger timing coming onto all this. We need to be able to see that some of these things to really build this life of who we're going to become and our destiny is going to take longer than we thought. But some of these pieces will be coming, within the next couple weeks as we step on this Leo season, as long as during these times right now, we're really doing that work internally to be able to get kind of all of this leftover gunk out of the way. So lastly, I'm going to be tapping into these cards to see what's the overarching energy that we can expect for this weekend. What can we tap into to navigate some of these powerful energies? Last thing I want to say is, Vesta is on the 2.2, and what this is really saying in these aspects is that, there's a new direction coming in. There's a new harmony that wants to come into our physical material environment, and a new direction in terms of our value. But there is a much larger timing coming into all of this, and an adventure that is really going to ask our wisdom to come out, to be able to surrender to cosmic timing and cycles. So we have gate 11, which is peace, ideas. I feel like what this is really saying is that, in this weekend, when we get into these realms, it's really good to tap into this idealistic energy of what we really want to create as we get ready to step into this new Leo this new Leo season. But I feel like what this is also saying is, there can be so many ideas that can come in right now. It's good not to get distracted with all of them. This is definitely time to hone in on narrowing down that feeling internally that we want to step into. And we need not to get caught up into too much, but really tap into that idealistic future that we want to create, and then be able to surrender that into the collective unconscious so we can watch it all unfold. So hope this has been helpful for you. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and tapping into the collective unconscious with me. Tap into your own innermost authority. See if it feels right for you. And thanks for tuning in to the Astral Weather Report.